Yes, now we start January at the movies. What do I have lined up today? Bloody axe wound. That checks out. Actually, this movie's been out for a couple of weeks, but it was always showing at an inconvenient time, so only now did I get the chance to see it. In fact, the others I'm reviewing today have been playing in some other cities too. But for now, let's talk about Bloody Axe Wound. This is a slasher satire that does have a lot going for it plot-wise. Not only is there a slasher villain named Roger Bladecut, played by the great Billy Burke, who is picking off all the kids at the high school who fit the stereotypes of slasher movie characters, but the kills are then used for his own line of movies, which he rents out at a video store that he owns along with his daughter. But his health isn't what it used to be. He's very tired of having to be resurrected whenever he dies, and hell, sometimes it's his heart problems that temporarily kill him. Not only is it like watching Jason Voorhees as a stern father, but also if he passed out from a heart attack. After his successor immediately fails, his daughter has to pick up the family business. Only she actually starts liking the kids she's supposed to kill, and even forms a relationship with the rebellious one. Like I said, solid setup, definitely ripe for something original. But the downside is that the movie is not very good. There's one movie this was reminding me of at first, with a plot about snuff films being sold at a video store. It seemed to take some inspiration from the 80s shot-on-video movie Video Violence. I never thought I'd say this, but Video Violence made way more sense with that movie having the whole town in on it. I can wrap my head around that, but here, I have no idea how this world works. It's really just asking you to go along with the concept, no questions asked. And if there were any greatness to the movie, I could do that, but there isn't. For instance, there's no cameras around. How is any of this being filmed? How's it ending up on a tape with a movie narrative? The townsfolk are baffled as to how so many kids are ending up murdered, but I guess no one goes into this store to find all their deaths on tape. Some say the killer is an urban legend and no one knows who he is, except he's a freaking business owner whose real name is the name he uses in his movies. Instead of focusing on what this world is, we just get ironic narration, awkward humor, and this teen plot with uninteresting characters that's like an unaired pilot for a 90s series on Fox. The two standouts are Billy Burke, channeling Charlie Swan a little bit, but as a slasher villain, although he looks less like a horror character and more like Johnny Knoxville about to do a prank. But there is a scene-stealing role from this actor, Eddie Levy, as a wannabe star who keeps showing up in bad costumes to get in on their movies. At one point, he even dresses like Crazy Ralph in a bad beard. Overall, though, this felt like watching It's a Wonderful Knife again, where it's a solid concept, but is so damn convoluted that it's just random, especially the movie's ending. But I did get a few laughs, and the gore effects are very good, so I'll give it an extremely disappointing C-. It was a quick sit though, it was only 80-some minutes. But if you want horror that's also 80-some minutes and thankfully good, then you should see The Damned instead. You may have seen some of the trailers. It's one of those indie horror trailers where the critical quotes try to out-top each other. You know, those trailers, the ones that are like, scariest effing movie I've ever seen since last time I said this. I will be wearing diapers full time, as I will never not be shitting my pants from the terror. I had to pause the movie to write out my last will and testament, call my friends and family to tell them I love them, and kiss my son and wife goodbye in case I never see them again after keeling over from a heart attack like Roger Bladecut. Luckily, this actually is a pretty intense movie. Set in the 18th century at a fishing outpost with a small cast of characters, they're already running low on rations till they witness a shipwreck and have to decide what to do if there's any survivors. After that goes south, they begin getting haunted by something that's appearing in the shadows and fog and making them go crazy until they turn on each other and themselves. There's a bit where you're not sure if something is there or if they're just drunk. There's a lot of illusions that play with the audience's minds too. You don't know if it's gonna pop up in the background or what it's gonna do, but what really works too is you grow to like some of these characters, and that makes it cut extra deep when something terrible happens to them. I will say that the movie does just kinda end where I wish it went on for at least a little bit longer. It was a case of, oh, guess that's it, but it is a very high B+. Definitely worth it over Bloody Axe Wound. My biggest recommendation for the weekend, though, easily goes to the Count of Monte Cristo. Yes, there's another adaptation of this out now, and sure, there's already plenty of movies based on this, and when you go into it, if you've seen any other version, you know what the 3-act structure is gonna be and certain plot points, but goddamn if this movie isn't so great that it felt like I was watching the story for the first time. The elements are there, from it starting out like a good love story, then to a great prison break plot, and a brilliant revenge movie. The casting is excellent. When Pierre Niney becomes the Count, he is suave as hell, but with these eyes where there's nothing but sheer rage behind them. I like that they incorporate things like masks and prosthetics for him to wear to make him look different enough for people who have maybe blocked him out for the past decades. What I love here is that, yeah, the villains are appropriately slimy, and you really want their comeuppance to happen, but it heavily goes into how Edmond Dantes' revenge quest is making himself a colder and more ruthless individual as it goes along, with losing a little bit of his humanity that he has to get back. And he is playing the long game in terms of revenge. He just gets in these people's heads hardcore. There's a dinner scene involving a buried chest and a courtroom scene that are just riveting. This is a 3-hour movie that is paced incredibly well, and not only did I not feel the length, but I didn't want to leave this world or these characters. The only thing that was mildly distracting sometimes is that it spans over 20+ years, and there's some characters that look like they've barely aged 5 years, but other than that, it's easily an A. Since I didn't see nearly as many movies in 2024 as I usually do, I'd feel weird about doing a best list. I'll probably still do a worst list, but as far as bests go, even if I did see my normal amount, this would be in my top 10 best of the year. It's my favorite thing out in theaters right now. Thanks for watching, everyone, and be sure to subscribe to our channel today and click the notification bell, and we'll see you next time.